Welcome to the People Plan session. People are at the core of Norse Group, from the local community we serve to our customers, clients and partners. But it's our employees who truly form the backbone of our success, encapsulating our shared vision and driving our commitment to improving people's lives. Following feedback from last year's One event, we know there's been some appetite to understand the People Plan in more depth. So over the past couple of months, we have reached out to different areas of the business to gather your top HR questions about people, culture, and well-being. I'm Steve Wisker, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Katie Marrison, Norse Group's HR Director, who's going to answer some of your questions about the People Plan. Welcome, Katie.
Hi.
How are you? You good? We'll just go through some questions really about what people want to know about more, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we often hear an awful lot about company values. Could you tell us a bit more about how Norse Group ensures these values are integrated into everyday work and not just the words you see on a poster?
Mm-hmm. So there are a number of values within the business. We have 4 core ones within 2 parts of our business and 4 others within our care service. When the group amalgamated into the Norse Group, it was important for us to understand what important values were to our staff to make sure that they actually live and breathe them. And we're undertaking an exercise now where we've got engagement across the board to make sure that we really truly know what those values are, what's important to our staff, and what they can adhere to as individuals. And what was really powerful is that all of our staff are really passionate about working for Norse. They really are concerned about the quality and the care that we deliver. And that is something that we as an organisation are really, really proud of. And we have to have values that are meaningful to them, otherwise they won't live and breathe them. So once we've concluded this exercise, we're really keen to make sure that we live and breathe with our job descriptions, our policies and procedures.
Yeah, to tie the whole thing together.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's fascinating. Could you share a bit about the cultural transformation and what it might look like at the Norse Group? How might we as employees contribute to a positive shift?
So what's really important for us at the moment is making sure that we assist the operations to deliver a quality service. The cultural transformation is celebrating our successes, celebrating our employees, and really shouting about the positive work we do for our communities. We do great jobs, we don't celebrate it enough, and I think that's really important to our cultural transformation. We are investing quite a bit in systems to enable that to happen so that we can publicly share amongst our organisation what we are doing and that people don't feel isolated in their silos, that they understand the group in its fullest capacity and can help us grow our business and make more opportunities for individuals in the future.
With the recent launch of our wellbeing calendar in January, can you share some insights as to how this is helping us create a healthier work environment?
Yeah, the wellbeing calendar is something that employees have said that they want us to look into more, provide facilities for them to understand aspects of wellbeing. We have an employee assistance programme, which I think is really underutilised by our staff. It's a third-party supply and it provides advice and guidance on a number of areas. And what we want to do is encourage individuals to be more healthy, so they exercise, make sure that they sleep properly, all the things that enable a healthy lifestyle. And the calendar is just tried to put forward some initiatives so that we can just make people aware. And quite often, well-being is overlooked in certain areas, and it's recognising that we need to talk about it. We need to have these forums for our employees so that we have them able and well to work for us.
Have we seen any positive shifts as a result of that?
It's still very early doors, and some of the difficulties we have is reaching out to our frontline staff. And that is something that we're looking to overcome by having an employee engagement app, which we'll be launching at the One event. And it's really important for us to get out to those frontline staff because at the moment it is very, very difficult to do that for us.
Can you give us a glimpse into the upcoming wellbeing policies? For example, what should we look forward to in the coming months in terms of support for Norse Group, what they'll be offering for our mental health and physical health?
Where we focus our wellbeing is looking at where we have high sickness absence across the company. And where we see that is mental health type absences, stress, anxiety. We have manual handling injuries. And they're the areas that we want to focus our wellbeing attention on. So what we're looking to do is encourage more mental health first aiders in the workplace so that we give individuals the opportunity to try and have those conversations when they are struggling. As I mentioned previously, we have the employee assistance programme And then we are looking at more workshops effectively to assist our occupational health programme, where we can really target specific health issues. We're really keen to increase our wellbeing policies and procedures, and we've recently launched the menopause policy, which has had some really positive feedback. And we're not just focused on our employees, but the communities we serve as well. So with that, we had the Menopause Cafe, where we made that everybody welcome that could join and just talk about the experiences that they're struggling with.
Yeah, and to give the staff like a platform as which and a stability that they can openly talk to you guys, you know, and have the chance to actually have an opinion, have a voice, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We know how important good management is for a positive work experience. We all know. Could you share how Norse Group supports and develops its leaders and inspire and lead effectively? It's always going to be a challenge, right? But
yeah, absolutely. And certainly as managers, we've got to lead by example, and employees fundamentally will come to work because of the way in which they're managed. If the management relationship is toxic, then we do see that we lose our staff. We've recently launched our Management Essentials programme, which offers managers a number of training programmes to help them manage individuals in the workplace. And it's about recognising each person as an individual and trying to accommodate the needs that they have so that we can bring the best out from that individual. Not everybody is the same. Everybody has different needs. And that's fundamentally what we're trying to encourage with our managers.
Indeed, there are always nuances, right? As in like to be able to sort of increase really or sort of dial up and dial down any of those managerial traits, just to make sure that, you know, we're leading the best way forward that we can across the management team.
Absolutely. And we have to call out our managers when they don't behave appropriately.
Indeed, yeah.
And that is something that I think we've had feedback in the past that hasn't been the case. So we are very much committed to make sure that our managers are managing effectively and doing the best for the staff, because ultimately the staff are the ones that are delivering our services.
Indeed, yeah. That's great. What kind of environment is Norse Group striving to create where not only can sort of managers lead, but also learn and grow?
Yeah, I think one of the things we've heard from the business is that managers want more autonomy. And obviously we want to give our managers more autonomy within the bounds of certain restraints. The managers are there to run the service and get the best out from the employees. So it's about making sure that we have good governance in place, but giving the managers the ability to manage in line with our policies and procedures and making them accountable for what they do. And I think all of our managers are really proud of the services that they deliver for us.
Yeah. Could you tell us a bit more about the people strategy?
So our focus over the next 12 months is really around Project One. And I know John Phillips is giving a presentation today to talk about that in a little bit more detail. The main reason for Project One from a core HR system is to enable a much more straightforward system for our operations. We know and we recognise that the current arrangements are quite clunky, quite difficult, and really frustrate operations from the whole employee life cycle. Project One is to make that far more simpler. And we are aiming for a system like Amazon, in that nobody trains you to use Amazon. And that's what we want from our new user system from the core HR platform, right from the engagement, from when we have the recruitment process, right through to the end when an employee leaves us. It's really important that it is an easy process for operations, because they don't want to be burdened down with a really chunky, clunky, difficult system just to get employees on board. So that's our main focus over the next 12 months. You will see some demos today around our Engage platform and also around our employee screening, which is really important to make sure that we've got the right calibre of candidates when we take them into the Norse Group. We will then lean into a people plan where managers will have far more data to understand their employees and the makeup, to a point in which then they can manage all of their employee life cycle through this system rather than the current electronic forms that we have in place. Once we feel that we're in a really good place with that, we can get much more information around our employee data so that we can make much more informed decisions about our workforce planning. So it's a really exciting time for us over the next 12 months to get this system embedded in place and make sure our managers are fully trained on it to get the best out of it.
Absolutely. And the Engage platform itself, I mean, just sort of circling back to that, that's the first time we've actually had a platform to be able to communicate to everyone at Norse and within the Norse family. it's going to make such a difference, right?
It is. And it does rely on the individuals actually downloading the app and actually registering to it. But currently we can only reach out to about 1,200 people electronically, which is really quite difficult, and something we've heard from our staff, that they want more communication, they want to understand more. And what we really want to be able to do is allow the operations to focus on their business areas as well, to communicate directly with their staff. So this is, again, a really exciting opportunity for us at the moment. And we're really keen to really get our managers behind the Engage app and give them the ability to manage these communications with their workforce. Really exciting.
With the Norse group, like really wanting to engage with the Norse staff, can you tell us a bit more about the staff survey that's coming up?
Yeah, so we did a staff survey in 2021 and we managed that survey in-house. And I think it's fair to say that we didn't have the expertise and capabilities to do that. What we're really keen to do is to ensure that we do continue to listen to our staff and make sure that when we do it, it is managed in a way that we can get information back to staff as soon as possible. So we're looking to launch the staff survey towards the end of the year to understand how people are feeling, and then equip ourselves to address the people strategy for the next year ahead. We are commissioning a third party to do that, and it will enable managers to access their data on point and live time, rather than having to wait for the data to be released several months later.
Yeah.
And it's really key for us and all our managers to really understand the frustrations from the workforce and give everybody a voice. And that's really important to us. We are such a big organisation with many voices, and we need to hear them all.
Yeah. And the ability to have that kind of agility to be able to act proactively and within a good time frame, I think, with the survey and the data that it will give you is really important.
It is. We also have our voice forums as well, where we manage to reach out to a number of individuals who have put themselves forwards as reps for the organisation. But again, it's still really key to get out to those frontline staff. I think there's still an element of nervousness that if people speak up, there may be some concerns from that, and that really isn't who we are as an organisation. We want to hear from the staff, and we want to make the workplace a great place to be, and for them to really, really get the most and enjoy where they are. And I'd like to think that is the case for most, but it's making sure that we have heard every single person in the organisation.
Completely agree. It's exciting to hear about the up-and-coming Employee Excellence Awards later this year.
Yes, we haven't done this for quite some time. I think COVID put a bit of a blanket approach so that we couldn't have such celebrations and events. We used to do them individually for each of the core three main areas of the business. This year it's about bringing the group together and having those excellence awards towards the end of the year. And we will be writing out to everybody after the one event to invite nominations in so that we can celebrate our employees and their successes across the organisation.
Yeah, the recognition and, as you say, celebration of what the Norse team do on a daily basis, but also, when they strive and they care as they do, it'll make a big difference.
Yeah, and it's really underrated at the moment, and we really want to make sure that our staff know that we really do value everything that they do for us as an organisation. So it's really important. And again, it won't reach everybody. We can't always get everybody, but it's just really trying to initiate these programmes so that staff can feel valued and feel recognised in the workplace.
Amazing. What can everybody in the group do to help make this systems transformation a success?
I think the important message is about embracing the system. The system is being brought in to make everybody's lives a lot easier, to make things far more automated. We will need people to assist us on this process, to test the system with us, to give us feedback on what they want from the system, what they'd like from the system. And that's really critical for its success. I think with any IT program, we know that there could be problems along the way, but we don't want to park the system. If there is a problem, we need to learn from it and then take it forward. It's there, the message is embrace it. It's here to make your lives a lot easier. So it's really important that everybody is behind it to deliver it.
Absolutely. And there's some stands that the guys can come along and visit at today's event.
Yeah, there's quite a few stands we've got today. We've got the employee assistance stand that's going to be there. It's wellbeing. It's talking about wellbeing. We've got Wary Dragon to give managers some advice around the financial difficulties that some of our staff and what they can help with. We've got the One stand where they'll be doing some demos around the Engage app and screening. And then we've got the HR stand.
Amazing. Thank you for your time today, Katie.
You're welcome.
It's been great to hear about the actions being taken with the people plan that will help us make a real positive change at Norse. We hope that we've been able to answer some of your questions. If you have any questions about the people plan or questions about any of the topics brought up in today's session, please let us know by using the event feedback QR code on the back of your event guide.